Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today is something different. I don't often do a video, but this is going to be a rant. So if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But not many things tend to bother me much outside of work to do with cars and things like that. But this rule change that's just been announced today has really irritated us. So I'm going to have a rant and I'm going to give you the information in case anybody doesn't understand what's changing, why it's changing, and basically what you've got to do about it. But it's quite simple. You can have a look on the website gov.uk to find out. But basically, like myself, not to go boring through everything, but basically, if you passed a driving test before 1997, this doesn't affect you. But if you passed a driving test after 1997 until more or less now, to be able to tow a reasonable sized caravan trailer with a B licence, which is up to 3.5 tonne, which is like up to a transit van, sprinter van, things like that, you had to go out and sit a test, which I've been through on my previous one, which is the full articulated. It's basically exactly the same as doing your class 1 articulated lorry test, just in a smaller setup, like a transit van in a trailer. But it's an extensive test. It's not just a little muck about in a car park. You know, you've got to do a full reverse manoeuvre, uncouple, recouple, and then a full half an hour, 45-minute driving test out on the road. Exactly what you did to set your car test. So, you know, this isn't just something where just disregarding something that was really nothing, you know. So what the government announced today is that they're just going to hand out BE to everybody. So everybody now. So now a 17-year-old who's just passed their test, when this happens in a couple of weeks' time, so a brand new driver can just go out, you know, if they have the money, and let's face it, a lot of families now decide to give young kids a lot of money for first cars, whatever, but now a freshly passed test a driver, just passed, say, yesterday for argument's sake, can go out and jump in a 3.5 tonne vehicle and couple up a 3.5 tonne trailer. So, you know, so these people with plenty of money, they can go out and get a Range Rover Discovery and hook on a massive twin wheel, biggest caravan you're allowed on the road and tow it. You know, it's just absolute madness. But more to the point, people might turn around to me and say, well, you're just jealous because you've wasted your money doing your test and we're all getting it for free. Fair enough, yeah, I'll admit this is an adult channel. I'm pissed off. I've done my work. I've grafted. I didn't moan about it at the start when all these people had grandfather rights and I didn't have it. I just says, right, whatever, crack on, do it. Cost us £500 or more, and now I may as well have flushed that down the drain. Waste of money, pointless. But there's a few little things I think I'll let people know about this, just to bear in mind. Number one, I did my BE test before 2013, and in 2013 they restricted the weight limit to 3.5 tonne. On my licence, there's no restriction, or if you've got a grandfather rights licence, there's no restriction. So I'm going to get on to DVLA and find out that my partner, she hasn't got it on. So when she gets her licence renewed and she gets her BE, is my BE on my licence going to have a unique code next to it stating A, that I've done the test, and B, that I'm not restricted to 3.5 tonne, that there's no weight limit. It would be nice to know if that was going to be getting put on. Something else as well, excuse me, I just need to adjust the view. Apologies for the light, it's starting to get dark. I thought I'd get this over with tonight, and I'm going to try and just forget about it tomorrow. One other thing to mention is we were considering taking the caravan across to Holland and places around Europe next year. And obviously, since we've come out of the EU, this is one of the only reasons that they've done this, believe it or not. If you plan to take your caravan, it could be a trailer, car trailer, whatever, but I'm using a caravan as an example, across there, will you have the proper rights? Now, I'm wanting to know, I've done the test, like probably loads of other people have you got the rights? If you're given this BE category free gratis in the UK, does that allow you to tow abroad? Because abroad, you've got to do a proper test to enable those rights. So who knows? You know, in my point of view, it would be nice to know that on my licence, that on everybody's licences, that there's some kind of code or something on there to say that person's done the test, that person hasn't done the test. It would be nice to know if that's the case. Probably won't be, but whatever. So, just to go through the basic rules now. now everybody's going to have a 7 ton limit. 3.5 ton trailer, 3.5 ton vehicle. Maximum authorised mass. So, you know, right now it's going to make things very difficult for these poor people who've got a business out of this. All these driving schools, which there'll be plenty of in the country, now overnight, just like that, have lost their job. And they'll have an expensive car, an expensive trailer that's now surplus to requirements. I think this has been a very, very poor move by the government. And I mean poor. I mean there's been some real, how can I explain it? Office workers have sat in a room today and done this meeting, and I bet you not one of them has a clue what they're talking about. I bet you... You have to excuse my phone cut off there, so there might be a little pause when I link these videos together. So yeah, a bunch of what I would class as people who haven't got a clue have sat and done these rules. But not only that, I feel like I've been hit twice because what they're going to do as well, I don't know if this will get passed, is means instead of doing your class 2, which is your like rigid vehicle test, like I did my class 2 so I can drive, like, for example, a bin lorry, skip lorry, mobile crane, whatever, as long as it's not articulated or towing. And then, so you have to do that costs £1,500, and then when you've passed your C, you can go and do your CE, which is your artic license, like your articulated vehicle class 1, you know, so that's like £3,000 and 2 tests. So what they're saying now, they're going to do away with class 2 and go to class 1 only, so you can go straight from a car license to your full articulated lorry license, which again, I've been shafted again there because I would have liked to have just done one test and be done. And I'm not talking about myself here. There's, you know, millions of class 2 drivers out there and millions of people who've sat their BE test. I mean, I can sort of forget about it a little bit. I did mine back in 2012, but if I'd just sat my BE test yesterday or last week or this year, I'd be mega pissed off, like really pissed off. So I'm just going to show an example on here. So I'm just going to show an example of what DVLA have said. I'm just going to switch the camera over. Excuse, it's getting dark in here now. I don't even know if it'll focus in on the screen, which it is doing. So there's a nice little note from DVSA. If you have previously passed a car and trailer driving test, you cannot get a refund or compensation. Hold on, the phone's going funny. For any training that you've took to help you prepare to take your test, you cannot get a refund for the test you took. That's a lovely message, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going to try to say too much language on this video in case you have like kids are watching, but that's just a big FU, isn't it? That's just a big middle finger, tough, you know. I thought they would have had a little bit of compassion to people who've spent good money. I mean, it cost me £500, and that was a lot of money back then. But there will have been a lot of people who have struggled to get through that test because it was hard, who have spent in excess of, I would say, well over £1,000. You know, for them just to now hand that out to everybody. Yeah, it's a bit crap. But my biggest argument of this now is I've done my BE down the drain. I've done my class 2. I've proved I can drive a 44-ton rigid vehicle. And I've also done a test to prove I can drive an articulated 3.5-ton vehicle. So in my mind, for the people like myself who are getting double shafted, it would have been nice for them to present with something like your C1E. Like, you know, they're giving everybody with a car licence a B category, BE, for free with no training. So I've done my full C and I've got my C1, but I can't tow with C1 and I can't tow with obviously C, like Arctic. But it would have been nice for them to upgrade people who've got their full class 2 and done the actual BE test to give them that category of C1E to help them along in the career. Because in my opinion, I've never known this ever happen where the authorities have given things away for free. Yes, you can say grandfather rights, things were given away for free, but that went on from, crikey, 50, 60 years ago up until 1997. That's just what they got. That's why I don't pull people to bits with grandfather rights, because they got it. So what? They've got it. Why would you complain for having it? And I suppose there's a lot of people out there who haven't done that BE, who are sitting there laughing their head off, going, oh, well, that's great, you know, tough crap to the people who've wasted their time doing it, ha, 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 now we're all good and great. Yeah, fair enough, good crack, I would be. The only positive I can see in this thing is my partner now I'm going to get her behind the wheel of the 4-wheel drive in the big caravan, and she can crack on and have a go towing it. And, you know, and I don't wish anybody to have an accident, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. But when they see the figures starting to go up, where, like I've mentioned, a 17-year-old is going to jump straight into a 3.5 ton transit van, hook a trailer on the back, and tow 3.5 ton behind it. When people start losing lives, accidents happen, people get hurt, are the government going to look back on this? No, they're not. You know, it's been, honestly, I don't often rant on, but in my time, I'm not an old, you know, I'm in my 30s, I've never seen as much bullshit passed as what I've seen today. And I'm an MOT tester, I see rubbish all the time getting put through with that, which you get annoyed at and you just think, whatever, get on with it. But this is something unheard of, where they actually, I don't even know if any other country in the world does this kind of rubbish, where they just hand out a category for free, no training, to everybody in the country. Madness. So yeah, I mean, I can go through a few things on this, but to be honest, just go onto gov.uk and everything will be there. All they're stating is the rules will come into play, and they're keeping it is just classed as autumn. So who knows? Not be long, because when is autumn? Next month, isn't it? October? I thought September was autumn, but I don't know. Whatever. But you know, there's stuff on here. I'm just looking on the screen. I'll switch the camera up. It's not very good when you try to look at it like this. So that's all it's basically saying is people, these poor people who've got tests booked, that tell them they can get their money back up to a certain date. Tests before that. Basically, if you've had your test booked before the 20th of September, it's tough shit. And look at this. This is the biggest load of crap I've seen in my life. Driving a trailer for the first time. It is best to take training from a driving instructor if you want to start driving a car and trailer. So hold on. They're advising you now to do something against something that they've just taken away. You know, that it's complete contradiction of what they've actually said. So the national standards is, you know, they're telling you what you can and can't tow. Why learning to tow is important. So hold on. That phone's just gone off 2 seconds. So now they're telling you why learning to tow is important. Safety checks. So all these things that were part of the test to make the roads safer, they've took that away. So now people are just going to give that the 2 fingers and go, no way, I'm not wasting money doing something if I don't have to. Just you watch now the levels of accidents that start happening. And as all this, they're just telling you when the law changes, you'll be able to tow trailers up to 3.5 ton, which is basically you have BE licence for free. And they'll update it when you update your photo card licence, but that the categories will be added on your digital driving licence immediately from whatever date they set. So, you know, they're saying if you want to tow anything heavier, you need to have people sitting in with you, which I don't really understand, because it's 3.5 ton anyways. So yeah, so there you go. I'll leave it at that. But good on you. If you haven't done your test, then you're going to get it for nothing. But if there's anybody watching this out there who has done your BE test, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. Not really fair at all. So I'll leave it for there now. I'll catch you on another video. Obviously, it'll probably be car related. Back to normal stuff next time. But I had to put this one out there because it really has bothered me, which if you've done a BE yourself, it'll probably have bothered you as well. So I'll catch you next time. If you like this, like, comment and subscribe. And please leave a comment below. If you agree with what I say, if you disagree with what I say, this is a discussion, this is a point of view, an opinion. It'd be nice to hear everybody's opinion. I respect the people who haven't done it and they're getting it for free. If I hadn't done it, I'd be sitting there thinking, great, fantastic. So, but it would be nice to hear from people who are losing out on this. And are you going to do anything about it? I don't think a single guy is going to be able to do anything to any of these big organisations, but it would be nice to set up a partition or something like that. If anybody knows of one, let us know where to go, what website it is. I'll have a read through it. It would be quite interesting to see. But bottom line is, now it'll get done. Nothing. So I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.